Today we're going to go over the answers to the questions on the sermon Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God. And we're going to have you read the question with the answer. So we'll start with Caleb. Everybody nice and loudly so those that are watching can hear.
The Israelites were always exposed to destruction.
Correct. Next.
They were always exposed to sudden, unexpected destruction.
Yes, sudden, unexpected destruction. Number 3.
They are liable to fall of themselves without being thrown down by the hand of another.
That is correct. And because there's 2 blanks there, I'm going to give you 2 points. Number 4.
The reason why they are not fallen already is only that God's appointed time is not come.
Correct. And again, 2 blanks, I'll give you 2 points. The next series of answers comes from the question, what 10 points does Edwards give to explain that there is nothing that keeps wicked men out of hell but the mere pleasure of God? The first one, Joey.
There is no want of power in God to cast wicked men into hell at any moment.
Correct. The second one, Steph.
They deserve to be cast into hell.
Correct. Next.
They are under a sentence of condemnation to hell.
Correct. 4.
They are objects of that very same anger of God that is expressed in the torment of hell.
Correct. Next.
The devil stands ready to fall upon them and seize them as his own. And that moment God shall permit them.
Okay, at what moment God shall permit him. Here's the last part of that. All right, number 6.
There are in the souls of wicked men those hellish principles reigning that would presently kindle and flame out into hellfire.
If it were not for God's restraints. I think, how many of you have the last part on there as well? Yeah, I think that's a part of the point. So if you didn't, take off half the point. Let's get the complete thought there. All right, number 7.
It is no security to wicked men for one moment that there are no visible means of death at hand.
That is correct. Number 8.
Natural men's prudence and care to preserve their own lives or the care of others to preserve them do not secure them among them.
Right. Number 9.
All wicked men's pains and
Contrivance, that is.
which they use to escape hell while they continue to reject Christ, do not secure them from hell one moment.
Right. So all men do to escape hell doesn't do them a bit of good. And number 10.
God has laid himself under no obligation by any promise to keep any natural man out of hell one moment.
That is correct. To keep any natural man out of hell one moment. Okay, so the 10 points altogether for number 2. Any questions? All right, the third section is why is God under no obligation to preserve wicked men? And I asked you to give me 3 reasons. Devin, give me 1.
They have no interest in the promises of the covenant of grace.
Right? That's 1. Give me a second one, Nate.
God is not required of himself to save them.
Well, that's kind of in the question, that he's not under any obligation. We're wanting to know why he's not under any obligation. So
Because
you would
they
just,
deserve it?
pardon me?
Because they deserve it?
That is not one of the things that are given in the sentence or that section. Caleb, what do you have?
I had a man have no interest in him.
Right, they have no interest in what? In him?
Yeah, and like his
I have 2 things that he has no interest in. How many of you have 2 no interests? Okay, what's the one, Hayden?
No interest in the mediator of the covenant.
Right, that's 1. And what's the other no interest? Somebody have a second no interest?
I said in Christ.
No interest in Christ or the mediator of the covenant. And then the third one is they do not believe. So those are the 3 I have. Now this may be a little more difficult to grade than the others because of your understanding of what you read there. So So what other ones do you have besides the three that I have mentioned? No interest in the promises given in Christ. They do not believe in them, that is in the promises, and they have no interest in the mediator of the covenant or no interest in Christ. What else do you have?
Man is sinful.
That is assumed in the question that they are wicked men. That there are reasons why God is under no obligation to preserve them, being that they are sinful. Any others? Stephen?
I said they were already sentenced to it.
That wouldn't necessarily mean that he couldn't unsentence them or change that. It says is under no obligation to preserve them. They're already sentenced to it. I don't know. The question is really asking, what is there about them? What do the other two you have?
I have to look back in the section because I've already corrected it.
Meaning what?
Like, I had marked off points and then I wrote what you said.
Oh,
So I just kept that one there.
so you don't have what you originally wrote?
No. But
Okay,
there was like
alright.
another section that sort of was like that.
All right, this should have followed right after the previous question. Alex?
I said we deserve the pit of hell.
Yeah, I had that too. Now I remember.
So God is under no obligation because it's what we deserve. All right, I think the question is asking why do we deserve it? Okay, I guess we'll take those two as not specifically what's being asked, but true nonetheless. Any others? Jessica?
I have for why we deserve it is because we've done nothing to appease his anger.
Okay, I guess that works too. Alex?
I had that he is not held by any promise. Just,
So in other words, God is not held by any promise he has made to preserve them, because he's made no such promise.
Yeah.
Okay. That works. Any others? All right, so there are 3 points there for number 3. You need 3 reasons. Number 4, how does Edwards describe hell? There are 4 descriptions. Brady, give us one.
It's a fiery pit.
A dreadful fiery pit, yes. Fiery pit is fine. What else? Sophia?
Lake of burning brimstone.
Right, a lake of burning brimstone. Another? Devin?
A world of misery.
A world of misery, all right?
a furnace.
Furnace. We don't have that down. Anybody else have furnace?
I have furnace of wrath.
Furnace of wrath, okay. Any others? Anybody have?
Bottomless gulf.
Bottomless gulf, that's the other one I was looking for. And sure, are there any others? Alex?
I said full of glowing flames.
Okay, yeah, that's another one I had, glowing flames,
I had a gaping mouth.
gaping mouth, okay. Stephen?
There's nothing to stand upon or take hold of when you're down there.
Okay,
I had pit full of wrath.
okay. Any others? All right, so 4 points there. You didn't have 4 acceptable answers, then take off the appropriate points. Number 5, in what 2 ways are God's mercies evident? In what 2 ways are God's mercies evident? Alex, give me one.
He holds back the devil and demons from us.
All right, or along that line, keeping men out of hell for as long as he does is mercy. So that's one. And what's the other? Do we have a second one? Alex?
He holds us up away from the pit.
I'm not sure that that would be, it kind of be the same thing. And no one had giving them time to come to Christ? Nobody had that? Did you have that, Brady?
I mean, I had that gives us a chance to be with him.
Yeah, that's the same idea. All right, so no, if you didn't have that second one, I'm wondering what did you have for your second one? Nobody was raising their hand for anything. Any answers you have that you wonder if they're correct or not? Or are you satisfied with you just got one of them, Lahana?
I said that people still live on the earth.
People still live on the earth? Okay. What was your other one?
It says that God has not shown judgment yet.
So that's kind of the same thing. He hasn't shown judgment yet, so they're still on the earth. So I would say those are making the same point. Stephen, did you have something else?
No.
Caleb?
I have that he doesn't kill us immediately because of our sin. I mean, he offers us a way to be with him.
Okay, those are your two?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Any others? All right, 2 points to number 5. Number 6, explain the comparison of God's wrath to great waters. We were going around at one time and kind of stopped. Who was the last person that answered the question as we were going around? Brady was? That's what I was thinking. So it's Joey's turn?
Mhm.
All right, Joey, read what you have there.
The waters can overtake you just like God's wrath.
Okay, anybody have a longer explanation? Hayden?
It's ready to burst at any moment.
Okay, that wasn't longer, but okay. It's got the main idea. Lydia?
I had God's wrath is stored up like a dam, and then one day the dam is going to break and all his wrath will be released.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good explanation. A little more inclusive of the point than the previous two. We'll accept those, but Lydia's was definitely more expressive. Any others? Anybody else think they've got a good one? Or anybody have one they're not so sure is even acceptable? Mine was a little bit longer than Lydia's, as you might expect. God's wrath is like great waters in that they are dammed for the present. They increase more and more and rise higher and higher till an outlet is given. And the longer the stream is stopped, the more rapid and mighty its course when once it is let loose. That might have been actually a quotation. All right, number 7. What analogy is made with the bow and arrow? Steph, what do you have for that?
I had the bow is God's wrath and the arrow sends it towards you.
Okay. There's something that she left out about the analogy. Sally?
I had that God's wrath is a bow that is aiming an arrow at our heart with justice pulling back on the string, and God could let it go at any moment.
Yeah. So what you said was right about the bow and arrow, but we need to have that part about, and it's aimed at us. You know, it's ready. God can let it go at any time. So I take off half a point for not including that part because that's an important part of what he's illustrating. Any question about your answer?
I just said God's wrath is primed and ready to, it's aimed at us and ready to destroy us.
Yeah, that's good. You didn't make reference to all the details, but you got the point. All right, number 8. How are people compared to spiders? Lahana, what do you have for that?
I heard that we are evil. I don't know, like we're a damn creature, I guess.
Is that what you consider spiders? Are spiders evil?
Yes.
Not really.
He uses some other words there to describe spiders. He's not really saying that they're evil. Haley, what do you have?
I had like how God was just above.
Above the flame, like a spider. Okay. That's part of his description. What else, Stephen?
I said sort of that. I said God holds us over hell like someone holds a spider over fire and abhors them.
Yeah, that's similar to what Haley said, a little more added to it. Does anybody have that spiders are considered loathsome creatures? And that's how God views us? Yeah. That's the idea there. Lahana, you're on the right track, but I think you could have used some of these other words there. So we'll take off half the time for just saying that they're evil. Because spiders are, I mean, for us in our homes and stuff, I know we don't like to have them in our house, but you know, they do kill insects.
The real ones. Day-to-day ones.
They are helpful in some ways. All right, number 9. The warning here is to what group of people? I think we're, let's go to Alex.
All unbelievers.
Right, unbelievers. The warning is to unbelievers. Any question? And 10, what makes this warning so emphatic? Sarah, what do you say?
I didn't answer this one. I said like, why he won them is like, what makes it.
Well, what did you say? Maybe you stumbled into the light here.
I said to warn them of their upcoming downfall and their eternity spent in hell.
Yeah, I think that's in the ballpark. Jessica, what do you have?
What was the word?
Go ahead, Jessica.
He wants them to understand the complexity of God's wrath and how he could take them into hell at any second if they don't change their hearts, and that he cares for them and doesn't want to see them suffer in hell.
Okay, good. So you should have the ideas that judgment could come at any time, it's imminent, and that you know, there's a great horror in hell, or you know, that it's realistic and it's terror, horror. All right, any question about your answer? All right, there are 30 points altogether. So count up how many you have incorrect. Put it at the top of your paper, circle it, and then I'll collect them and take your grades from that. As soon as you finish that, and I collect it, I'll give you the rest of the time to work on the assignment for tomorrow, which is to read and highlight an article in your packet called God in the Hands. Instead of Sinners in the Hands of God, it's God in the Hands of Sinners by R.C. Sproul Jr. Read and highlight that. You'll find that instructive.